Hey everybody, it's Eric from epautos.com, your libertarian car guy. I haven't done an exterior walk around of a new vehicle in some time because my old camera had gotten so poor in terms of the images that I got that I just figured it wasn't even worth it. But now that I've got a new version of my old camera, I thought I'd give it a whirl again. This is the 25 Volkswagen ID Buzz, about which I've written a lot lately, particularly having to do with the problems that I've experienced using fast chargers and the problem that I had because it wasn't supplied with a charge cord. And apparently that's just something that these EV manufacturers are doing now. It's not just Volkswagen. I had the same experience with an Acura EV. They're available, but you have to pay extra for it, which is just startling to me, as I've mentioned before, because after all, like the chief sell of the EV, other than, oh yeah, I know I'm doing something that's good for climate change, yada yada, is that you don't have to go to a gas station anymore, that you can plug in overnight at home. And that's true, but that's hard to do when you haven't got a charge cord. Now, you can buy it, but in the case of the ID Buzz, it's a nearly $700 option. And that's not small change, even for a vehicle with a base price that's just $5 shy of $60,000 to start. But nevertheless, the thing I wanted to focus on right now is how it looks. It's a good-looking vehicle. There's no arguing about that. It does summon memories of the old microbus, and I think that's just wonderful. Show you some of the stuff about it. It's got dual sliding doors, which I'm going to open and hope that my mangy dog doesn't regard as a cue to jump in. No, do not do it. Do not jump in. So you've got dual sliding doors, and you may be able to see on the opposite side, it's the same thing on this side. There is a small window, rectangular window there that you can crack open. The whole thing doesn't open, but you can open that window on the side. Here it is from the exterior. You may not be able to see it, but this is it right here at pace. Do not even think about it. All right, I'm going to close the thing up. And that's fun. And in the back, if I can pop the back of it open. Of course, the original microbus did not have a power liftgate or power anything. This one has the optional modular storage system, which is nice. This is kind of a nice trip down nostalgia lane toward what Volkswagen did a long time ago, which was to put all these little cute features in their vehicles that just kind of made them fun, that gave them personality. This is a neat place to put stuff. You got your bins here, and you've got this tray here. I'll show you something else that's kind of fun. Going around here to this side of it. Here's an interior shot, by the way. It's kind of, it's clean, it's utilitarian. Of course, it has the touch screens rather than mechanical gauges or even any other kind of gauge at all, because that's the way of the world now. Anyway, check this out. I found this in the glove box. This is a battery-powered handheld fan. And I took it as a kind of a cue that you should use this rather than the vehicle's air conditioning, because at least if you run out of charge with your handheld fan here, you're not going to be stuck by the side of the road. I don't know whether that's the actual reason why they decided to include that, but I thought I'd mention it. Something else I wanted to mention too, see if I can get a good shot of it. So you've got these big quarter windows here. That's what these are. These are the quarter windows. Vehicles in the olden days used to always have quarter windows. There's an inside shot of it. And the difference now versus then is that back then you could crank them open. There was a little catch on them and you could kick it open. And the nice thing about that was that it generated a lot of airflow through the vehicle that was free. They called it 450, 4 windows down, 50 miles an hour AC back in the day. And I think it's a shame that Volkswagen didn't figure out a way, particularly in this case, to make these operable, because again of the issue with using power drawing accessories such as the AC and the effect on the range and the battery charge. It would be nice to be able to crack open the window and stay cool without having to use the AC. All right, final thoughts about this. I think whether it's electric or not really isn't the material point. What's material is that it is expensive, and I think the expense of the thing is going to limit the number of people who are able to buy it, and that's not good for Volkswagen. It's a shame, in my opinion, that they couldn't have taken this really neat looking body, the concept of it, and instead of making it into an EV, fitted it with, for example, one of their outstanding TDI engines, which they no longer make because of all the stuff that, or at least they no longer sell in this country, because of all of the hullabaloo over the EPA cheating thing that happened back in 2015, 2016. Anyway, if they could put a diesel in this thing, not a diesel hybrid, just a diesel, probably it would have gotten, I don't know, 35 or 40 miles per gallon at least, good, so it would have been easy on gas, and it would have been a whole lot easier to buy. Probably they could build something that looks just like this with a diesel engine and get it out the door for, I don't know, $40,000, maybe even less than that, and make it a whole lot more accessible to people who'd love to have one of these things. They're just, it's fun, it's cute, yada yada. Problem is, no matter how fun or cute something is, if it costs $60,000 to start, that just pretty much excludes everybody except people who are rolling around in money and can afford to spend it on essentially a luxury buy, which is ultimately what this is. It's more of a luxury car than an electric car. Anyway, those are my thoughts about this. If you were interested in the in-depth review, it's over at epautos.com, where you'll also find some videos about my difficulties in being able to use fast chargers, and also the problem with not having the charge cord that wasn't included with the vehicle. So thanks for listening. Would love to hear your comments. More over at epautos.com, and we'll catch up with you again soon.